Money, power, respect, what you need in life. Money, power, respect, what you need in life. Money, power, respect. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am super excited to be able to get into, if you will, episode 2 of this great series, talking about how you can maximize your money, how you can get the best salary that you can, how you can be able to maximize your wages and or your fees for whatever product or service that you're rendering. So if you're ready, like how I am, let's talk about how you can make sure that the best revenge is your paper. Let's get into it. I'm DC Howard. If you want to know more about me as well as this company, click on the link above to be able to get more information. Also, as I mentioned in the intro, this is actually episode 2 of this series. So if you want to be able to look at episode 1 of this series when it comes to how to make sure that the best revenge is your paper, make sure that you check it out right here. You should be able to see it up there. I love being able to do this on YouTube. All right. And so once again, we're going to talk about, as this is a famous Beyonce lyric from the end of a great song that she has, is the lyric fully is always stay gracious, the best revenge is your paper. And I truly do believe that. And I want to make sure that you're able to get advantage of that in your profession, whether it be your actual salary job, whether it's wages that you're earning right now, or even possibly if you are your very own business owner where you're getting paid based off of your commissions, off of your fees, off of your, if you will, just your actual money from the products and services rather that you're rendering, so that you are able to maximize your profits. And so what I want to be able to talk about is a threefold component, and I kind of teased it when it came down to my intro, is this episode is going to be entitled for the great, wonderful, if you will, supergroup of the Locks back in the 90s with Bad Boy, is they had a song called Money, Power, Respect, what you need in life. And so I want to make sure that we're able to talk about those specifics when it comes to negotiations for your salary, is what is the most important to you, whether it be the money, whether it be the power, or whether it be the respect, which in this context, we're going to call it the title. All right. So let's look at all three of those components one by one. All right. So first and foremost, let's talk about the money straight up. So money is something that you want to make sure that you're getting the absolute greatest amount of when it comes to whether it be your salary, whether it be your wages, or whether it be whatever fees and or charges that you're getting for the products and services rendered. When it comes down to this is also about when it comes to, especially for those that are in salaries, of what type of band range does your employer deal with. And so that oftentimes, straight up, which I absolutely understand and agree, is usually one of the biggest factors of whether or not you do take a job, whether or not you do actually decline a job offer, or whether or not you actually go about getting a certain client when it comes down to you agreeing via contract and or agreement to be able to do business. And so it's very important that you get the maximum amount of dollars that are available to you. But a lot of that is key upon that. Number one, you know the salary bands or the salary or wage range of that particular job or that particular contract, as well as also knowing your fair market value, which is something we talked about on last week when it comes to knowing yourself and knowing your worth. All right. So now let's get into, if you will, point number 2 of money, power, respect. And so as it states, number 2 is power. And so when we're talking about power, when it comes to negotiations, is what will be your actual power in a particular job or a particular business or in a particular contract. So here's some things you want to think about when it comes to the power. Do you have final decision-making power when it comes down to whether or not you're able to accept and or deny potential, if you will, other employees the ability to be a part of your team and or contracts that you're going to be able to come into, if you will, acquisition of? That's something that you want to understand when it comes to your power. Do you have the power to control your own budget? So whether that's the budget that you need in order to actually complete projects or complete particular things that you're doing in your profession, or when it comes down to the budget that you need in order to create. So if, for instance, you are an individual that is an artist, whether it be music, whether it be actual visual artistry, whether it even be studio artistry, such as film and or, if you will, actual movies, being able to understand, do you have control of your own budget? That's something that when it comes down to your power. And then when it comes to a third thing you want to think about when it comes to power is, do you have, if you will, the ability to have perpetuity of your actual information or of your actual services? And so, for instance, let's say you come up with a new method of doing something when it comes to, let's say, architecture. You're able to design a new method. In your contract or in your ability to work with that company, is it now a clause to where all property, all intellectual property is therefore the control of the actual company? Or do you have the ability to negotiate within your contract or within your terms of agreement that you can have control over the property that you're supposed to have control over? So that's another thing when it comes down to power. So we mentioned a lot of those things when it comes down to power is when it comes down to the personnel decisions, whether or not you can hire or fire individuals. When it comes down to decision making, do you have the control over the decision making? Do you have also the control over when it comes to your property? These are various things you want to think about when it comes to what power do you have. And then lastly, the third, if you will, point of money, power, and respect when it comes to negotiations is, what is the respect you're going to have? So what is the title that you're going to hold when it comes to being a part of this particular company? Or even having this particular contract or agreement or whatever the case may be when it comes to in partnership with someone. So will it be that either you will have a dynamic title such as director, manager, possibly even if you're coming into a merger and acquisition, that you are controlling partner, that you are co-owner, that you are even possibly founder or co-founder? Or is it that now you're going to have to take a different, if you will, title to where it speaks to the specificity of your role? So for instance, that you may be, if you will, the creative brand strategist, or you may be the individual that is the strategic partner, if you will, communications manager. If you are the individual that, let's say you are in music, that you have the, if you will, creative design content specialist. But being able to really be specific about what is the actual job that you have, and then also being very deliberate about going to the various websites, in which I'll post them again in the lower third, of being able to understand what are the actual titles that get the big bucks and get the notoriety on the market. Because you don't want to have a title that you enjoy, but rather the market that you're working in has no absolute understanding of. And so there you have it. When it comes down to being able to negotiate your salary, when it comes down to being able to negotiate your wages, or even what we referenced earlier as your fees and or your actual payment for the services and or products that you are rendering, you want to be able to think about these three things. What is, once again, the money that you're going to be able to get from your fair market value and or the band that you may be working at if you're a salaried worker? What is the power that you're going to have in your specific role, whether it be personnel, whether it be creativity, or whether it be also budget control? And or what is the respect that you're going to have? How can you make sure that the title truly speaks to the full on, if you will, work that you're doing on a daily basis? And if you're not able to get that high terminology such as director, manager, CEO, founder, controlling partner, etc., principal, etc., what can I do when it comes to specifying the role that I have? And what I tell many of my clients oftentimes is that, of course, the perfect scenario is that you're able to get all three. But usually, if you're not able to get all three, I always say, in this particular moment, what are the two that are most important to you? So if it is that right now you really need the funds in order to be able to make ends meet and do what you need to do, definitely make sure money is that thing. But if you're not necessarily so much focused on what is your actual power in the company, then get the money and the title. You may be an individual that you're at a certain place in your career to where money is not too much of an issue, or when it comes down to your personal life, you're able to have that handled. And so now the focus may not necessarily be about the money, but it's about having your own control when it comes to power and then having that title. And then other individuals, it may not be what you call me, but do I have the money that I want, as well as also do I have the power to make the decisions that I have? You can have the money and the power. And so be able to understand which are the absolute top two that mean the most to you. I hope this has been of great help and benefit to all of you, and I want to make sure that you stay tuned so you can be able to get more help and benefits from the wonderful, if you will, things that we have to offer here at Wayineers. Thank you so very much for watching our video. We know that time is the most valuable, non-renewable resource, so we truly appreciate that you've taken that time with us here on today. Here's some quick ways that you can be able to support our channel and support us even more. And here's another way that you can be able to be connected with me. Join our Wayineers network. Yes, you can do that by going to our website, www.wayineers.com, where you'll get exclusive access and exclusive content with me, DC Howard, your care coach, and where we're going to also be able to provide that to you for a great low monthly fee, which you should see right now, as well as also you can be able to join for a great low annual fee, which you can see right now. How do you do that once again? Go to our website, www.wayineers.com.